The moon hung low in the velvety night sky as Millbrook Mansion stood like a shadowed sentinel atop the hill. Its imposing silhouette was a relic of a forgotten era, and its windows glowed dimly with the eerie light of the moon. This is the story of a chilling journey that unraveled the enigma hidden within its forsaken walls. Amelia, an avid history enthusiast, had heard whispers about Millbrook Mansion's haunted past. With her heart pounding and curiosity in her eyes, she and her friends embarked on an expedition to unveil the secrets shrouded within the mansion's decaying beauty. The mansion's doors groaned in protest as they swung open, revealing a grand foyer that had seen better days. Faded wallpaper peeled away from the walls and the air was heavy with a musty scent. Amelia's flashlight cut through the darkness, revealing the intricate details of a bygone era. As they ventured deeper, the corridors seemed to stretch endlessly, each step echoing through the stillness. The faint rustling of leaves outside mingled with their footsteps, creating an eerie symphony. Amelia's heart raced, a mixture of trepidation and excitement coursing through her veins. In one of the parlors, they discovered an old phonograph, its dust-covered surface a testament to its long disuse. Amelia's fingers trembled as she wound it up, and the soft, crackling melody that filled the room seemed to bridge the gap between past and present. Their laughter mingled with the music, as if the mansion itself welcomed their intrusion. As they explored further, whispers seemed to drift through the air, carried by an unseen breeze. Amelia's friends exchanged nervous glances, their unease growing with each step. It was as if the mansion itself held secrets, and the walls whispered stories of those who had once called it home. In a room that appeared to be a once lavish dining area, Amelia's flashlight revealed an ornate mirror hanging on the wall. As she approached it, a sudden draft seemed to chill the air, and her breath formed misty clouds. She stared at her reflection, feeling as if the mansion was trying to convey something to her. A soft voice seemed to echo through the room, its words faint but filled with a melancholic urgency. Amelia's heart quickened as she listened, her breath catching in her throat. It was as if the mansion itself was reaching out to her, sharing its long-buried secrets. Their exploration led them to a hidden room tucked away at the end of a dimly lit hallway. The room was bathed in an ethereal blue glow, and the air seemed charged with a palpable energy. Amelia's friends exchanged wary glances, uncertainty etched across their faces. In the center of the room, an old ornate mirror stood, its surface seemingly untouched by time. As Amelia gazed into its depths, her reflection seemed to waver, and the room around her shifted. She felt a presence beside her, a figure that materialized slowly, its form flickering like a candle in the wind. The figure's eyes held a mixture of sorrow and yearning as it extended a translucent hand toward Amelia. Its voice was a soft whisper that seemed to resonate within her mind. "Help me remember. The truth must be known." Amelia's heart raced as she listened to the figure's plea. It introduced itself as Eleanor, a former resident of Millbrook Mansion. She spoke of a life lived within these walls, of love and loss, and a hidden truth that had been buried beneath layers of time. Eleanor's tale was one of tragedy, a story of a forbidden love that had led to heartbreak and separation. She spoke of the choices she had made and the secrets she had carried, longing for redemption and release from the mansion's spectral grip. Determined to uncover the truth, Amelia and her friends delved into archives, sifted through old letters, and interviewed locals who still remembered fragments of Millbrook's history. They pieced together Eleanor's story, revealing a narrative that spanned generations. Months later, as Amelia stood before the now quiet Millbrook Mansion, a sense of closure washed over her. Eleanor's story had brought her face to face with the mansion's haunting past, a reminder that the echoes of love and loss can linger long after the laughter and tears have faded. Though the mansion had weathered the passage of time, its legacy lived on through the hearts of those who dared to uncover its truth. And in Eleanor's release, the mansion's restless spirits found a semblance of peace, their voices finally heard after years of silence. As the moon cast its soft glow upon the mansion's grand facade, a breeze seemed to carry the echoes of Eleanor's laughter, a gentle reminder that the mansion's history was a tapestry woven with love, sorrow, and the enduring connection between past and present. In the heart of a dense forest, Moonridge Manor stood in solemn isolation. Its towering turrets and ivy-covered walls exuded an eerie charm, but its windows were like vacant eyes that watched in silence. This is the tale of a chilling exploration that unveiled the mysteries lurking within its forgotten chambers. On a moonlit night, Sarah and her companions ventured into the realm of Moonridge Manor. The air was crisp with an unsettling stillness, and the rustling leaves seemed to whisper secrets to those who dared to listen. The creak of the mansion's ancient doors greeted them as they entered, each step echoing through the cavernous foyer. Their flashlights cut through the darkness, revealing faded tapestries and dust-covered furniture that stood frozen in time. Sarah's heart raced, a mixture of anticipation and unease stirring within her. Moonridge Manor held an allure that was impossible to ignore. As they explored deeper, they discovered a library lined with shelves of weathered books. The air was musty with the scent of old parchment, and the flicker of their flashlights cast eerie shadows along the walls. Sarah's friends exchanged nervous glances, but their curiosity propelled them forward. In one corner of the library, a dusty grand piano stood as a relic of forgotten melodies. Sarah's fingers brushed against the keys, and a haunting chord echoed through the room. The melody seemed to blend with the gentle rustling of pages, creating a spectral harmony that resonated through the air. Their exploration led them to a hidden passage concealed behind a bookshelf. As they navigated its winding twists, the air grew colder, and a sense of unease settled over them. Sarah's flashlight illuminated the corridor, revealing faded portraits and antique furnishings that seemed to tell tales of lives once lived. In a room adorned with cracked mirrors and worn velvet curtains, Sarah's flashlight revealed a letter resting on a desk. The handwriting was delicate and faded, the ink nearly indecipherable. As she read the words, a shiver ran down her spine. It was a love letter written by a long-forgotten resident of the manor. A whisper seemed to drift through the air, a soft murmur carried by the wind that rustled the curtains. Sarah's heart quickened, and an inexplicable feeling of being watched settled over her. Moonridge Manor seemed to be alive with the echoes of the past, its walls holding secrets that longed to be told. In a dimly lit corridor, they discovered a door that seemed to beckon them. As they pushed it open, a gust of wind swept through the room, extinguishing their flashlights. Sarah's pulse quickened and a sense of unease settled over the group. The door slammed shut behind them, enveloping them in darkness. In the pitch-black room, a faint glow seemed to emanate from a corner, illuminating a dusty mirror that hung on the wall. Sarah's breath caught in her throat as she gazed into the mirror, her reflection wavering. A figure materialized beside her, its form ethereal and indistinct. The figure's eyes held a mixture of sadness and urgency as it extended a translucent hand toward Sarah. Its voice was a whisper that seemed to resonate within her mind. "Help me remember. The truth must be revealed." Sarah's heart raced as she listened to the figure's plea. It introduced itself as Eleanor, a former resident of Moonridge Manor. She spoke of a life of secrets, of a love that had been lost and a darkness that had shrouded the manor for generations. Eleanor's tale was one of tragedy and betrayal, a story that had been buried beneath layers of time. She implored Sarah to uncover the truth, to shed light on the hidden history, and release the manor from its haunted grip. Determined to unveil the mystery, Sarah and her companions delved into archives, studied faded photographs, and unraveled the threads of Moonridge Manor's history. Their research uncovered a narrative that intertwined love, loss, and a lingering darkness that had persisted for centuries. Months later, as Sarah stood before the now silent Moonridge Manor, a sense of closure washed over her. Eleanor's story had brought her face to face with the manor's haunted past, a reminder that the echoes of history can resonate long after the last footsteps have faded. Though Moonridge Manor stood as a relic of a bygone era, its legacy lived on in the hearts of those who dared to uncover its truth. And in Eleanor's release, the manor's restless spirits found a semblance of peace, their voices finally heard after years of silence. The moon bathed the manor in a soft glow, and a gentle breeze carried the whispers of Eleanor's gratitude, a bittersweet serenade that seemed to bid farewell to the shadows of the past. Nestled deep within a dense forest, Blackwood Manor loomed like a silent sentinel of forgotten history. Its weathered stone walls and cracked windows exuded an air of melancholic beauty, yet the darkness within was impenetrable. This is the tale of a chilling exploration that unearthed the mysteries that lay dormant within its forsaken chambers. On a moonless night, a group of intrepid adventurers, led by Michael, set foot inside the enigmatic Blackwood Manor. The air was heavy with a sense of anticipation, and the crunch of leaves beneath their feet echoed through the stillness. The grand foyer greeted them with a cold draft, its grandeur faded but still impressive. Their flashlights cut through the darkness, revealing faded portraits and intricate tapestries that told tales of a bygone era. Michael's heart raced, a mixture of excitement and unease swirling within him. Blackwood Manor seemed to harbor stories waiting to be told. As they ventured further into the labyrinthine corridors, the air seemed to grow heavier, laden with the weight of time. The soft rustling of leaves outside melded with their footsteps, creating an eerie symphony that reverberated through the silence. Michael's pulse quickened, the mansion's secrets calling out to him. In one of the parlors, they discovered a dusty piano, its keys untouched for decades. Michael's fingers brushed against the ivory, and a haunting melody filled the room. The notes seemed to echo through the air, intertwining with the mansion's history and creating an ethereal harmony. As they explored deeper, whispers seemed to weave through the air, carried by an unseen breeze. Michael's companions exchanged wary glances, a shared sense of trepidation growing stronger. Blackwood Manor appeared to be alive with echoes of the past, its walls bearing witness to untold stories. In a room adorned with faded curtains and tarnished mirrors, Michael's flashlight revealed a journal lying on a table. Its pages were yellowed with age, and the elegant handwriting hinted at a bygone era. As he read the entries, a shiver ran down his spine. The journal belonged to a former resident of the manor. A faint whisper seemed to dance through the air, its words barely audible yet laden with longing. Michael's heart raced, a feeling of being watched settling over him. It was as if the manor itself yearned to share its history with him. Their exploration led them to a hidden passage concealed behind a false wall. The corridor was narrow and dimly lit, and a sense of unease settled over them. Michael's flashlight revealed worn tapestries and dusty relics, creating an aura of mystery that clung to the air. In a chamber at the end of the corridor, a soft blue light bathed the room, casting an ethereal glow. Michael's pulse quickened, and a sense of foreboding gripped him. In the center of the room stood an ornate mirror, its surface seemingly untouched by time. As Michael gazed into the mirror, his reflection seemed to waver, and the room around him shifted. A figure materialized beside him, its form flickering like a candle's flame. The figure's eyes held a mixture of sadness and urgency as it extended a translucent hand towards Michael. Its voice was a whisper that seemed to resonate within his mind. "Help me remember. The truth must be uncovered." Michael's heart raced as he listened to the figure's plea. It introduced itself as Eleanor, a former resident of Blackwood Manor. She spoke of a life filled with secrets, of a love that had been lost and a darkness that had shrouded the manor for generations. Eleanor's tale was one of tragedy and heartache, a narrative that had been obscured by the passage of time. She implored Michael to unveil the truth, to shed light on the hidden history that had been buried beneath layers of silence. Determined to unravel the mystery, Michael and his companions embarked on a journey of research and discovery. They delved into archives, sifted through forgotten letters, and pieced together the fragments of Blackwood Manor's history. Through their efforts, they began to unveil a narrative that spanned generations. Months later, as Michael stood before the now silent Blackwood Manor, a sense of closure washed over him. Eleanor's story had brought him face to face with the manor's haunted past, a reminder that the echoes of history can reverberate long after the walls have crumbled. Although Blackwood Manor had weathered the passage of time, its legacy lived on through the hearts of those who dared to uncover its truth. And in Eleanor's release, the manor's restless spirits found a semblance of peace, their voices finally heard after years of silence. As the stars twinkled above the ancient mansion, a gentle breeze carried with it the echoes of Eleanor's gratitude, a soft reminder that the bonds between past and present are as enduring as the stories they hold.